During a family gathering at the palace, Princess Charlotte, the youngest member of the royal family, known for her lively personality, created a moment so memorable that it quickly became the talk of the royal household. It all started innocently enough, with Queen Camilla's daughter approaching the palace gate in an attempt to make an entrance befitting her stature in the royal family. She had planned a confident stride, one that reflected her sense of belonging and ambition within the tightly knit royal circle. Yet, unbeknownst to her, Princess Charlotte had decided to spice up the moment with her quick wit and playful spirit. As Camilla's daughter neared the gate, Charlotte positioned herself squarely in front of it, her hands firmly on her hips, a mischievous glint in her eye. Her posture radiated confidence and resolve, suggesting to everyone watching that this was more than just a spur-of-the-moment prank. To the surprise of onlookers, the young royal refused to budge, effectively blocking her stepsister's passage. It was as if Charlotte had drawn an imaginary line in the sand, daring anyone, even royalty, to cross it. Camilla's daughter, initially confused by Charlotte's playful blockade, attempted to assert her authority with an air of royal decorum. But as she tried to pass, Charlotte's cheeky smile widened, and she began quipping witty remarks that left those watching barely able to contain their laughter. "Only VIPs are allowed through," she reportedly said with mock seriousness, further flustering her stepsister, who was clearly unprepared for the quick-thinking, sharp-tongued response from someone so young. What could have been a potentially awkward or tense moment quickly turned into a full-blown comedic spectacle. Those present, including family members and staff, watched in amazement as Charlotte commanded the situation with the poise of someone far beyond her years. She demonstrated not only her sense of humor, but also her understanding of how to navigate even the most delicate situations with charm and grace. Queen Camilla's daughter, known for her composed demeanor, found herself unexpectedly outmatched by the youngest royal. Each of Charlotte's playful jabs added a layer of levity to the scenario, and her stepsister could do little but laugh along with everyone else as Charlotte turned the moment into an unforgettable display of her sharp mind and natural charisma. When the news of this royal standoff reached Queen Camilla, her initial reaction was one of disbelief, quickly followed by amusement. The queen reportedly burst out laughing, finding the entire situation both endearing and hilarious. Far from being upset, she admired Charlotte's boldness and quick thinking, remarking privately that Charlotte's antics were reminiscent of certain mischievous moments she'd witnessed in the past from other family members. This, she noted, is what makes the royal family relatable to the public. They're human, filled with quirks and charming imperfections. But it wasn't just Charlotte's blockade and banter that left an impression. What truly endeared her to the royal family was her reaction afterward. While the household was still reeling from laughter and her stepsister was adjusting to being playfully outdone, Charlotte simply shrugged off the attention. "Someone had to teach her a lesson," she said nonchalantly, earning yet another round of laughter and confirming that her wit was as sharp as ever. This light-hearted gate incident became much more than a humorous memory. It represented Charlotte's growth into a spirited, confident individual with a natural ability to stand her ground while spreading joy to those around her. It also illustrated the unique dynamics within the royal family, where even the youngest members are unafraid to shine in their own right. For a family steeped in centuries of tradition, moments like these are a reminder of how refreshing and modern the new generation can be. The aftermath of the incident lingered in the palace for days, with everyone recalling and recounting Charlotte's bold move. Even formal royal meetings saw an occasional chuckle as the gatekeeper tale resurfaced. For Charlotte, this moment was just another chapter in what is sure to be a colorful life, as she continues to balance the expectations of her royal heritage with her one-of-a-kind personality. It's clear that she's already mastering the fine art of making her mark, proving that she's not just a princess by title, but a true standout in her own right. Princess Charlotte's playful antics didn't just make waves within the royal family. They sparked a movement. Laughter echoed through the palace as even the most stoic royals found themselves unable to resist her infectious charm. Prince William and Kate Middleton beamed with pride, admitting that Charlotte's quick wit and free-spirited nature were a welcome breath of fresh air amid the rigid traditions of palace life. It was more than just a funny story. It was a moment of unity, proving that even in an institution as formal as the monarchy, there was room for joy, levity, and human connection. The young princess's impromptu, gatekeeping episode didn't stop at family laughs. It quickly gained traction as a phenomenon among the palace staff and, soon after, the media. Within days, stories of her witty remarks and clever antics had turned her into a viral sensation. Videos and anecdotes of Charlotte inspecting her gate visitors spread like wildfire, with fans across the globe celebrating her confidence and natural charisma. It wasn't long before hashtags like #RoyalGatekeeper and #PrincessCharlotteRules were trending, showing the world that this pint-sized royal was a star in the making. Charlotte embraced her newfound title with the enthusiasm and humor only a child could muster. Her gatekeeping evolved into a routine, as she eagerly quizzed unsuspecting palace visitors with cheeky questions like, "Password, please," or "What makes you royal enough to enter?" Her confidence and creativity endeared her to everyone she encountered, from senior royals to kitchen staff. Behind the lighthearted game, Charlotte was inadvertently teaching those around her that royal life didn't always have to be serious. It could be filled with laughter and playful banter as well. This unexpected role also began shaping Charlotte's personality and her place within the family. No longer just the youngest royal, Charlotte began to carve out a niche as the monarchy's modern, relatable face. Her antics symbolized a growing shift in how the royal family approached their roles. Rather than simply upholding centuries-old traditions, they were finding ways to connect with people on a human level. Charlotte was at the forefront of this transformation, becoming an example of how even the youngest generation could carry the weight of royal expectations with a lighter, more approachable touch. Not everyone was immediately on board with this change. Queen Camilla, known for her carefully measured demeanor, initially struggled to process her daughter being outplayed in such a public and humorous way. Having spent years navigating the complexities of royal life, Camilla had mastered the art of control, ensuring every moment played to the monarchy's advantage. Yet here was Princess Charlotte, with her mischievous grin and quick wit, shaking up everything Camilla thought she knew about royal conduct. However, even Camilla couldn't resist the hilarity and charm of the situation. As the initial shock faded, she found herself laughing alongside everyone else, marveling at the boldness of her step-granddaughter. "She's got nerve, hasn't she?" Camilla reportedly said with a wry smile, acknowledging that Charlotte had achieved what few could, turning a potential power struggle into a moment of connection and humor. The media frenzy that followed only amplified Charlotte's popularity. Articles gushed about her authenticity, describing her as a much-needed breath of fresh air in a royal family often criticized for being out of touch. Photos of her playful, gatekeeping moments flooded social media, with captions celebrating her humor and down-to-earth personality. Analysts noted how Charlotte's antics struck a chord with the public, presenting her as a figure who embodied the perfect blend of modernity and tradition. She was a princess who could wear a tiara at a royal gala and still make jokes that reminded everyone she was, at heart, just a child. As Charlotte's public appearances increased, so did her impact on the monarchy's image. While Queen Camilla and other senior royals worked tirelessly to uphold a sense of gravitas, Charlotte's natural ease and playful spirit introduced an entirely new energy. During royal engagements, crowds would cheer louder when Charlotte appeared, drawn to her youthful charisma and uninhibited laughter. Her presence was a reminder that the royal family could evolve while still staying true to its roots. The gate incident became a symbol of Charlotte's burgeoning identity within the royal family. It wasn't just a humorous episode. It was a defining moment that showcased her leadership potential, her ability to connect with people, and her confidence to stand her ground, even against seasoned royals. "She's got the makings of a queen," one insider reportedly commented, alluding to how Charlotte's unique qualities could one day make her one of the most influential royals in history. Behind closed doors, the royal family rallied around Charlotte's newfound popularity, celebrating her rise as a signal of positive change. Kate Middleton, ever the supportive mother, encouraged Charlotte's authenticity and wit, ensuring that her daughter felt empowered to embrace her personality while balancing the expectations of royal life. Prince William, too, couldn't help but express his pride, often joking that Charlotte's boldness reminded him of a younger version of himself. As the monarchy moved forward, it became clear that Princess Charlotte was a catalyst for change. The gate moment had turned into more than just a funny story. It was a defining chapter in the modernization of the royal family. Charlotte wasn't just a star within palace walls. She had captured the hearts of millions around the world, proving that sometimes the most powerful statements come not from pomp and ceremony, but from simple, joyous acts of confidence and humor. With every cheeky grin and clever quip, Charlotte was showing the world that royalty didn't have to be untouchable to be revered. Her ability to navigate the expectations of her birthright while remaining true to herself made her a beacon of hope for a new generation of royals. It was clear that Princess Charlotte was no ordinary child. She was a trailblazer in the making, ready to redefine what it meant to be royal in the modern age. The royal family found itself grappling with unexpected tensions and new dynamics after Princess Charlotte's unforgettable standoff at the royal gates. What began as an innocent moment of childhood mischief soon ignited a wave of reactions that rippled across the monarchy. Within the family, opinions were deeply divided. Some royal insiders found Charlotte's bold act amusing and refreshing, while others voiced concern that it undermined the centuries-old decorum expected of the royal family. But the collective response was clear. Charlotte's quick wit and fearlessness had left a significant mark. King Charles, ever the consummate diplomat, moved swiftly to downplay the incident, recognizing it as a light-hearted display of her youthful exuberance. He noted that Charlotte's spirited personality and confidence were valuable qualities, ones that would undoubtedly stand her in good stead as she matured. He praised his granddaughter for having the courage to express herself freely, believing her playfulness would be an asset to the family in the years to come. Yet, while King Charles was keen to defend Charlotte's antics, others within the royal fold were less inclined to find amusement in the situation. Prince William, whose views on royal conduct are typically aligned with tradition, had a more measured and cautious reaction. The future king, often tasked with upholding the stability and seriousness of the royal family, seemed less than impressed by Charlotte's antics. His discomfort stemmed from a desire to preserve the royal family's image, one that is rooted in decorum, formality, and controlled public appearances. As someone deeply invested in maintaining the long-standing traditions of the monarchy, William's apprehension was understandable. He worried that Charlotte's lightheartedness, especially in such a public arena, could inadvertently chip away at the prestige and authority of the royal family. Kate Middleton, ever the stabilizing force within the family, saw things through a more empathetic lens. Kate has always encouraged her children to express themselves fully and embrace their individuality. To her, Charlotte's playful moment at the gates wasn't just a humorous misstep, but rather an embodiment of her daughter's strong personality and natural leadership. While Kate did express some concern about Charlotte's growing public prominence and reminded her to be mindful of the monarchy's image, she was also clear in supporting her daughter's playful energy. Kate's perspective was a reminder that personal expression and authenticity could be as powerful as tradition within the framework of royal duties. The royal family's varying reactions were only the beginning of the shifting dynamics sparked by Charlotte's stunt. Queen Camilla, who is usually known for her calm poise and control, was taken aback. It was not so much that Charlotte had disrupted royal decorum, but rather that Camilla, the queen consort, had been upstaged by a young child at her very own doorstep. The public spectacle of it was something Camilla hadn't anticipated. Her years of hard work and careful navigation of royal responsibilities seemed suddenly overshadowed by a small princess's daring move. At first, Camilla attempted to downplay the incident as nothing more than a harmless prank, reassuring others that Charlotte's playful behavior was just a reflection of her youthful energy. But behind the royal walls, Camilla's frustrations grew as she pondered how this moment of comedy had evolved into such a talking point. A woman who had spent decades trying to define and solidify her place in the royal family could not easily accept a scenario where Charlotte, of all people, appeared to have taken control of the spotlight. Despite her disappointment, Queen Camilla eventually took a step back and acknowledged that Charlotte's sense of humor had lifted the family's spirits. For the first time in a long while, the rigid formalities of palace life had given way to levity and fun. Camilla, rather than reprimanding her stepdaughter, found herself laughing along, realizing that the moment had not been one of disrespect but an opportunity for the family to show a more human side to the public. In many ways, this incident hinted at a larger shift that was beginning to take shape in the monarchy. A subtle but growing embrace of the quirky, unpredictable, and even rebellious qualities that had historically been shunned. Public opinion, meanwhile, solidified Charlotte's place as one of the most beloved members of the royal family. Charlotte had charmed millions with her wit, confidence, and playful demeanor. She became a breath of fresh air amidst the often stifling world of royal duties, embodying qualities that resonated deeply with fans around the world. She didn't play by the rules, and people loved her for it. The media seized upon her every moment, leonizing her as not just the funniest royal but the future of the monarchy itself. Her rise to prominence, built on a mix of humor, sincerity, and relatability, couldn't be ignored. As Charlotte's star continued to ascend, it became increasingly evident that she was carving out a significant role within the royal family. While the older generations, including Queen Camilla, remained more focused on preserving traditions, Charlotte seemed destined to redefine the royal image for a new era, one where accessibility and relatability might one day overshadow the traditional constraints of monarchical life. With each public appearance, Charlotte proved that royal duties didn't have to be bound by stuffiness or rigid protocol. They could, in fact, accommodate fun, levity, and boldness. However, Queen Camilla couldn't help but feel the pressure of having her carefully crafted position in the royal spotlight overshadowed by a younger, more charismatic rival. While Camilla had worked tirelessly for years to cement her place as queen consort, Charlotte's authenticity and natural charisma meant that, at royal events, it was often the younger princess who captured the public's eye. Camilla found herself in an unfamiliar position, increasingly relegated to the background as the media's love affair with Charlotte continued to grow. It became clear that Charlotte, despite her youth, was effortlessly winning the hearts and minds of people around the world. But rather than retreat in frustration, Queen Camilla did what she does best. She adapted. Recognizing the inevitability of Charlotte's ascension, Camilla sought to shift gears in her approach. She would need to find a way not to fight the rising star of the monarchy but to coexist with it, to recalibrate her own position and work alongside Charlotte as equals, each embracing their own brand of leadership within the royal family. Thus, the real challenge for Queen Camilla became one of managing her own place within the monarchy while supporting the increasingly prominent role that Princess Charlotte was poised to play. Rather than being relegated to a place of secondary importance, the queen consort now had to embrace the changing of the guard within the palace, while finding a way to leverage Charlotte's growing appeal into a modern and sustainable future for the monarchy. Would this newfound rivalry between Charlotte and Camilla signal the beginning of the monarchy's transformation? Would Charlotte's rise, with her humor and independence, herald a new era of leadership within the royal family? It seemed possible, even likely, that the monarchy was entering a new phase. But Queen Camilla was not about to give up her hard-earned place in royal society without a fight. With her cunning and sharp royal instincts, she quickly began to lay out a clever plan to reclaim some of the limelight. Rather than withdrawing from the growing media frenzy, Camilla saw this as an opportunity to strategize, to balance her traditional strength with Charlotte's vibrant energy, and perhaps, in time, both would have a chance to share the spotlight in a way that only future monarchs could. Queen Camilla, determined not to be overshadowed by Princess Charlotte, devised a clever strategy to regain control of the royal spotlight. Recognizing the need to adapt, Camilla began to showcase her own sense of humor and charisma. She took on a more approachable public persona, intentionally engaging with the press in a more relaxed and playful manner. At a high-profile royal event, Camilla deliberately cracked jokes and demonstrated her more relatable side, hoping to prove that she too could be just as entertaining as Charlotte, but with the seasoned charm that came from years of experience in the royal spotlight. However, Charlotte, ever quick-witted and unafraid to speak her mind, responded to Camilla's new approach with humor. When asked about her stepmother's more lighthearted take on royal duties, Charlotte cheekily commented, "I guess she's trying to keep up with the cool school kids." This playful remark, delivered with her usual charm, sent the press into a frenzy and further cemented Charlotte's status as the royal family's funniest and most charismatic member. Despite Camilla's earnest attempts to modernize her image, Charlotte's natural wit and confidence continued to capture public attention. The clash between the two royals quickly became one of the most entertaining spectacles, with the press and public eagerly watching their every move. Camilla, for her part, could not help but admire Charlotte's ability to command attention with such effortless charm. At a royal gala, the playful rivalry reached its peak when Charlotte publicly complimented Camilla's new approach, only to follow it up with a humorous remark. "Royal duties sure do get more interesting when you don't take yourself too seriously." The room erupted in laughter, and once again, Charlotte had captured the spotlight. Undeterred, Camilla responded in kind, joking that perhaps she needed to take royal lessons from her young stepdaughter. Though lighthearted, Camilla's words reflected a growing respect for Charlotte's ability to shine. Despite this back and forth, it was becoming clear that Camilla, ever pragmatic, was starting to embrace the idea of sharing the royal spotlight. The media ate up the witty exchanges, declaring the rivalry as one of the most entertaining royal moments in recent years. With each passing event, Charlotte's charisma continued to captivate, while Camilla's adaptability in embracing her more playful side made for a fascinating contrast. As their rivalry played out, the unexpected happened. Charlotte and Camilla, once seen as direct competitors for public attention, began to form a surprising partnership. Their combined presence at royal events brought a refreshing new dynamic to the royal family, blending tradition with modernity in a way that had never been seen before. Charlotte's natural charm began to rub off on Camilla, and the queen consort adopted a more approachable, down-to-earth approach to her royal duties. The two began appearing together at events, demonstrating that the monarchy could be both dignified and fun. The public embraced the change, with many applauding the unexpected but heartwarming bond between the queen consort and the young princess. For Charlotte, this newfound alliance was more than just about fun and games. Her playful antics had propelled her into the spotlight, but now she was positioning herself as a leader in her own right within the royal family. Meanwhile, Camilla began to recognize the importance of adapting to the times, realizing that Charlotte's influence was essential for the monarchy's future. Together, Charlotte and Camilla symbolized the balance of old and new, two royal women from different generations who found common ground, each bringing their unique qualities to the evolving monarchy. What was once a rigid institution bound by tradition was now transforming into something more engaging and relatable. And at the heart of this transformation were Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla, proving that sometimes the most unexpected moments can lead to profound changes. As the duo continued to shape the royal family's future, the public wondered what would come next for this hilarious and dynamic team. Would their playful rivalry persist, or had they found a way to collaborate and redefine the monarchy for future generations? One thing was for sure, the royal family had never been more entertaining. As their journey unfolded, the public eagerly followed their antics, waiting to see what these two strong-willed royals would do next.